Good morning, and before we get to the meat of the video today, there's just a few things I need to get out there. First things first, apologies for my voice. I've been ill over the last week or so and it's affected my voice, and that's one of the reasons I've not been putting out a lot of videos. Hopefully it's getting better now, so I will be able to get back into the swing of things. So thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully it won't crack up while we're doing this. Secondly, I've reached 3,000 subs, and I was preparing to do a video all about that, and I was going to put something out last week, but I actually hit 3,000 subs before I expected to, so I didn't get the video done, and I've hit 3,000 subs. And, well, I thought I'd stick it on the beginning of this one and say, thanks, guys. You know who you are. You know, you've followed me. Some of you have followed me for some time now. Jason in particular, I'll give you a shout out because you've been following me since almost way back in the very beginning. And there's been a few other people as well. And people like Corrupt Clay, the Gamecast crew, Grant from Over the Edge. You guys have been really supportive, so I can only say thank you. And I hope you all go from strength to strength. I know that, Grant, you'll stop in with your channel, and I'm sorry to hear that. But let's hope we all carry on and grow in our own ways and move forward, because this has been a great ride. Last thing, though, on that note, I have actually now got an Amazon storefront. So if you guys want to help me out, then go and check out my storefront, because it doesn't cost you any more than it would just to go to Amazon. And if you go through me, I'll get a little kickback. No pressure there. If you don't want to, that's fine. I understand that. I'm not a great one for doing those things either. But if you feel like it, as I say, it won't cost you anything. Just the same as it would for if you were buying it normally from Amazon. So you'd be helping me out there. But anyway, let's get to the meat of it. Today, I want to talk about the PlayStation Classic. And I don't know if you guys know, if you've been following this, but I actually pre-ordered the PlayStation Classic as soon as the pre-orders went up. And, you know, I was really looking forward to it. And I was hoping to be doing an unboxing today, because today, as I'm recording this, is the day that it's released. And it should have been arriving at my door this morning, hopefully. And I would have done a quick unboxing, and then I would have done some more videos about it as the days and weeks went on. But as time has gone on since the initial announcement, it's looked worse and worse and worse. You know, my first disappointment was on the announcement itself, and there were no DualShock controllers, but I kind of understood that. That wasn't a big deal, and that wasn't a deal breaker for me. On the announcement, though, we only had a few games, and you know, they were okay. And I thought, again, I was like, well, you know, there's more games coming. We know there's more games coming. Let's wait and see what the games are going to be. And, you know, I never actually owned an original PlayStation, but as with some other consoles, like the Mega Drive, which I never owned, I did used to go around to friends' houses and play. And my mate Andy, if you're out there, Andy, hi. My mate Andy used to have a PlayStation, and I used to go around there after the pub. You know, we'd have a few beers, we'd play mainly sports games back in the day, and have a blast. And, you know, a bit of Gran Turismo, that kind of thing. So while I never owned it, this was exciting to me, because I thought, you know, I could recreate that kind of those memories for me. And so I was looking forward to it and thinking, right, okay, let's wait. Let's see what the lineup's going to be like. And then when the final lineup came out, well, it wasn't stellar. And, you know, there was some very significant games missing. I mean, the ones that spring to mind for me are there was no Tomb Raider, no Gran Turismo, no Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which my mate Rich, another mate of mine, is an absolute Castlevania fanboy, and he loves it. And he was saying to me only at the weekend, because I was chatting to him then, that he couldn't understand why that wasn't on there. And, you know, again, Tomb Raider, and everybody's going to have, you know, their favourite games. And Sony weren't going to please, Sony weren't going to please everybody, of course, because no matter what the lineup was going to be, it wasn't going to be satisfactory to everybody. But, the lineup they actually gave us, it looked like they just shoved the ones on there that were easiest, that didn't require any real effort. You know, it's almost like they were having a meeting and someone said, Have we got any games lying around from the PlayStation 1 era that don't require licensing agreements? And somebody else replied, oh, you know, yeah, there's a few, but, you know, they're not our best. And the other guy says, well, who cares? You know, the fanboys will buy it anyway. Shove them on there and stick it out the door. We'll make money off it. Who cares? And it's, you know, it seems like they took the same approach, not just to the games, but to the emulation itself. And they've used PCSX Rearmed, which has been available for years. And, you know, they've literally put no effort into getting the best emulator possible. The fact is, Sony have created their own emulators, and we had the PSP and the Vita. They had their own in-house emulators. As far as I remember it, they had their own in-house emulators for that. So why not do that again? But no, what they've done is they've just taken the easiest route to get it done quickly and get it out the door, both with the games and with the emulator. And from what I've read, you can even see this in the lack of options available on the device to change things like scan lines and aspect ratio, that kind of stuff. The basic things you would expect to see on a device like this. But even with all that, I was still holding out and thinking, you know, I'm going to still buy it. I'm going to still keep my pre-order. You know, it could still be fun. It could be a nice addition to the small collection of minis that I've started to put together. My hope was kind of keeping me going and hoping that it was going to be good. And then I was thinking on top of that, well, you know, if it's hackable, then maybe it could actually become useful as well. You know, maybe we'll get, I don't know, RetroArch or something on there, and then we can put a load of other stuff on there, and we'll have a little mini PlayStation that'll have lots of games on there. So, and you know, that might still happen. Who knows? We'll see down the line. But then we come to the final nail in the coffin for me. And that was when we find out, I think it was last week, that's how close to launch we found this out, that many of the games on the system were going to be PAL 50. Now, I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail on that here, and if you want to find out more about that, go and watch the Digital Foundry video. They've done a review on the product. And, you know, basically, to have PAL 50 on there is, well, it's unfathomable. The 60 Hz versions of the games run much better on modern TVs. So there literally is no good reason to go with the 50 Hz versions. Whatever the region. Whether you're selling it in America, you're selling it in UK, Japan, France, Germany, wherever it might be, the 60 Hz version is going to be better on modern televisions. So there's literally, as I say, literally no good reason to go with PAL. It makes no sense whatsoever, unless you go back to what I was saying before, where they've just gone, oh, we got this one, this one, this one, and this one lying around. We'll just bung them on there. And there's been no care or attention put into this whatsoever. As I say, that was the final nail in the coffin for me, and I finally went on to Amazon and I pushed the cancel button on my pre-order. And you know, even then I didn't want to do it. I was really looking forward to, you know, to playing with this. As I say, I never owned the PlayStation 1, but I did play around my mate's house, and I had really fond memories of the system. But as Digital Foundry said in their review, this product actually damages the legacy of the PlayStation 1. And that's, well, that's unforgivable. And I'm not going to buy a device that actually makes me feel worse about a product that I used to play than my memories are telling me. And actually damages those memories in some way. And look, you know, I don't want to over-egg the pudding on this. But surely Sony could have done a better job than this. The only reason I can see for Sony putting out such a shoddy product is that they wanted to jump on the classic bandwagon before the bottom dropped out of it. But unfortunately, a product like this is, you know, with all the faults it's got, well, that's only going to hasten the bottom dropping out of that market, if it's going to. because it just leaves a sour taste in people's mouths. I simply can't support a product that treats its potential customers with, well, frankly, it's disdain. Throwing something out the door in this state is insulting to PlayStation fans and to gamers in general. Whether you're a casual, whether you're a, I don't like the term, but whether you're a hardcore gamer, whatever it might be. It's insulting. Those of you who follow my channel regularly know I have issues with Nintendo, and I've come down on them really hard. But you know, they managed to put out two classic systems that were well made, fun to play, and just desirable. And for a decent price as well. And you know, I bought the Commodore 64 Mini as well, the C64 Mini. And that's actually on the desk as I'm recording this, and it still gets used quite often. You know, it's a fun system. And it makes me look back on the C64 fondly. So there's literally no excuses for Sony with this product. I really did want to keep my pre-order. And I would have loved to have been unboxing the PlayStation Classic this morning, but sadly it's not to be. You know, Sony, they've screwed the pooch with this one. And all I can hope is that people don't let their nostalgia blinkers blind them to this blatant cash grab. You know, I'm thinking along the lines of this. What would have happened? What would it have been like if Sony had put as much care and attention into this product as they've been putting into their first party games on the PlayStation 4? What would it have looked like then? We would have had a product that was genuinely worthwhile, that was wonderful, something we really wanted to play with over the Christmas period and beyond. But instead, well, as I say, we're just left with a bitter taste in our mouths. But anyway, look, that's what I think. You guys might think, oh, look, he's over-egging the pudding. You shouldn't get so upset about something like this. It's just a little device, you know, it's a bit of fun or whatever. But it's the best part of 100 quid. And okay, 100 quid these days is not a huge amount of money. But it is when you're shelling it out on crap. And frankly, this is crap. But as I say, that's what I think. You guys may completely disagree and think that, you know, people like me who've cancelled our pre-orders are idiots or whatever. And come and let me know in the comments. You know, don't use those words. Don't call me an idiot. Well, I mean, if you do, you do. But let's have a chat about it. And if you do agree with me and you liked this video, you know, the routine, like, subscribe, bash my bell, all the rest of it. And if you get the time and you fancy buying some gadgets for Christmas or whatever, check out my Amazon storefront. Yeah, shilling. But, you know, do it. As I say, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. And, yeah, that's me done. And I will speak to you in the next one. Bye.